He proved streaming is impossible in 2025.
Why?
Streamers are getting paid more than NBA players.
That is not true. Maybe like a bench player on like the Rockets or something. I mean, what are we talking about? They're getting paid more? Hell no. I mean, I don't. In like maybe like XQC. Yeah, XQC got 100 mil. Yeah, Kai X and like train wrecks.
That is, if you're looking at superstars like iShowSpeed, Kai Cenat, and Aiden Ross. But many people don't want to.
I mean, how much do you think they make?
Is this a 1%er's game
like
at this point?
Kai makes. I feel like his YouTube isn't really big. Does Kai get good YouTube views anymore?
He does.
He used to be mainly a YouTuber. I feel like now he's first and foremost like a Twitch streamer. He gets views, but I mean, he gets like 300-400K views a video, and he doesn't really post on his main. He posts on Kai Cenat Live. He gets like 200K, 300K, 275, but he posts like, dude, he posts like 4 times a day. Hold up. He's getting like 300K views a vid more 4 times a day.
Yeah, fuck the streaming shit, bro. Fuck this video. Let me see something else right quick.
So here's something interesting.
Where is it?
There's a fundamental shift that's happening in global finance that most people aren't actually paying attention to.
What is it?
But it's going to reshape how Africa does business for the next century.
Seriously?
South Africa's Standard Bank just became the first African bank to plug directly into China's cross-border interbank payment system.
What does that mean?
SIPS. And this isn't just another banking story. This is about Africa finally getting the infrastructure that it needs to trade efficiently with its largest economic partner without constantly having to convert through the US dollar.
Guy talks a lot. So, like, I don't like how he talks. Fuck that video. Sentiment peanut? I don't think there's shit to watch. Why the fuck did I come live? Why the hell did I come live? Alright, yeah, let's talk about it.
So it's really interesting to me what's happening in Hollywood and with artificial intelligence. I don't know if you heard about this, but Matthew McConaughey, he filed 8 federal trademarks on himself.
So nobody can use himself?
Yes, his voice, his face. And he said it's his legal strategy to fight AI deepfakes before they even happen. I mean,
they've already happened. We've had callers on this show that have gotten Facebook messages from Matthew McConaughey falling in love with them and asking for money.
No.
Watch this clip of Sam Altman having a very strange reaction to an interviewer who's pretty friendly to big tech, and I'll explain in a second.
How can the company with 13 billion in revenues make 1.4 trillion?
Bro, I don't care about money fucking topics, bro. Why do I keep landing on money topics? Stupid. The fuck out my face. Let's go, Joe.
Yo. Lock in here, chat.
What's happening here?
And we've only got like 20 minutes.
Oh shit. My fault, y'all. Let me get my coffee right quick, man. Quick word from the sponsors. Y'all hold that right quick.
Blue, who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Baby, got his nerve. No sir, pull out for your purge. Beats, tell you shit. Sit there, shit fuck. Y'all ain't drunk on shit. Into the zone, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Already know I'm designer. My type of cloth ain't a missus. I just mean like I'm an honor. Give it the time and the day. I'd rather you keep it 1,000. I smack all that cap off your lip. Make it the dime, make a script with the dollar. So after we fuck out the dick, catch your fade. If you don't mind, get the fuck out my way. say broaden up in our size, who we finding our way. Give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Baby, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purse. Beats, tell you shit. Stick that shit for. Young lady drunk on shit. Either the zone, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Why you think it's in Zulu, chillin' on my stoop? My heavens on earth, the universe, but got my roots. It ain't no ego too new to me, I call y'all flukes. Age of Aquarians, drooling for the star sign juice. It ain't no level too high up, yeah, that we can't reach with our eyes closed, like no cap. Infinite water, deep dive, yeah. Ralph smart to these dumb nugs, y'all flowing, jack, give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purse.
Minutes. Crap. Okay, let's start with birds. How many birds could there possibly...
Alright, we back.
Oh no. This one first, why not? The Seychelles warbler evolved around... Wait, hold on. Cooperative behavior? Some birds altruistically cooperate? But that would imply... Life on Earth probably began with some soup at least 3.5 billion years ago.
About?
Not this.
And that does not make sense to me.
It doesn't.
I can understand everything about, not everything, but I understand the process of evolution in life.
I understand everything. Don't let him lie to you. He gets everything.
Life after the first organisms exist.
On some solipsistic vibe. Y'all know solipsism. Your homework.
Or multicellular organisms, but before that, it does not make sense to me how things just went from nothing to alive. God did. I never just like using the God of the gaps argument, or not argument. I don't like doing gods of the gaps. So I like want a definitive explanation, and there are ones of like RNA chains and what like speculatively would have happened, but even then it doesn't make sense how non-living particles would be basically turned into living particles.
The soup, spicy hydrothermal soup, made with nitrogen, phosphorus.
God made literally everything. What made God? The one thing that I don't like.
You're getting into a very interesting question or area, right? Made God. You know how I see it. Okay, this might come. Obviously, it always comes from a point of ignorance, right? But you know how I see it. Since God needs the faith of everything in the universe, right? Since God needs the faith of everybody. For it to survive, for it to be a sustained theory, a sustained conspiracy, or whatever the fuck, it needs the faith of people to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? So if people, okay, they knew, okay, you're God, blah blah blah, there's this religion, da da da, all this kind of things. You know what I'm saying? You give, you know what I'm saying, good gifts to this God. You tithe, all that stuff. If people are like, okay, we get all that, but none of us are gonna do that. Where was this God gonna end up? Like the reality of the theory and shit like that. So if God creates everything, everything creates God. It's literally the chicken and the egg theory. Yeah. It's interesting.
Like argumentative wise. Also, I do want to say that this is a philosophy stream, so if I challenge one of your religious beliefs or something.
Shut the fuck up, bro. That's why we're here. Stop disclaiming all this obvious shit.
And don't take that as a personal offense.
Exactly.
I'm not attacking you. I will just play devil's advocate
okay,
for
let's
your
move.
Basically train of thought. Or I might disagree with you, one of the two. But when people say like God created everything and you say what created God, they say, oh, that's illogical because God always was and always will be. But then when you bring up the argument that the universe could have always existed, the counter argument is, well, that makes no sense. Something had to have created it. But then when they say, okay, well then what created it? God. Well, what created God? God always was and always will be. But that's not logical. But the fact that the universe could have always created is illogical. To say a creator created the universe is a logical train of thought, right? Because we have been created by things before us. So it just follows suit that something that has been created has something that created it, something that created it. And at some point there has to be an end in sight, right? So you have to always say the universe always was or will be, or you have to say God always was or will be. Because at some point there had to be a definitive starting point in your mind from like or no starting point, rather. Like God had no starting point, or the universe had no starting point. In the Bible it says that God is the Omega and the Alpha and the beginning and the end. God is the Alpha and the Omega. Okay. You can say God is the beginning and the end, but by that logic, that also doesn't follow human logic, similarly to the universe always being inexistent. In my mind, I just find it equally as illogical that God created the universe and God always existed, as illogical as it is that the universe has always existed and will forever exist. Both of them are equally illogical from a reason-based standpoint. One of them is an alternative assumption. I can believe that the universe always just inherently existed, or I can believe that God created the universe and God inherently always existed. In both of them, you are making the assumption that one thing, whether it be the universe or God, has always and will always exist. Somebody said, here come the atheists, SMH. Nothing's wrong with believing that. I'm just saying this is why I believe the way that I believe. I actually have a philosophy rant that I'm going to post later on, like next week about it.
Post it right now.
Or the week after. I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm going to schedule the videos. But you believing in God and believing that God created the universe, I'm not saying that that's illogical. I'm saying that both that and the universe always existing are both two things that require a level of faith and lack of understanding, to where you just have to believe one or the other, and you just believe it because you believe it. Does that make sense? I know I'm high and I'm yapping, but I'm trying to convey my thoughts as easily as possible.
And love. It's really good. You could taste it. You probably shouldn't taste it, but someone is tasting it. We'll call them Jeremy.
You can't go off of human logic when thinking about creation or existence of the universe or life itself. Why? You can't go on that human logic, and that is true. And I'm not. Me going off of human logic, I don't know if you're agreeing or disagreeing with me, but me going off human logic would inherently make me say something created the universe. Me not going on human logic would say that the universe could possibly just always exist, and it doesn't make sense to me yet because I have only understood the idea of cyclical life, death, and rebirth, and everything that does exist having a creator prior to. But just because that happens doesn't mean that every single thing that does exist has a creator, including the universe itself.
Can't see them? That's because they're really small and kind of basic, so much so we can probably leave for a bit without missing any.
Whoa, slow down.
Now there are Jeremys everywhere, trying different configurations thanks to a weird spiral cheat code, and some of them are wondering if the sun is tasty, and some of them
They're infiltrating the space.
Some of them are wondering if they can link together, and oh wow, this is gonna get out of hand quick. Cool, is it fish time now? Not even close, bucko. First it's time for the boring billion. Scientists never call anything boring, so we can probably skip this one. Next is the Cambrian.
My favorite types of animals
are
animals that evolutionarily were fish, became land creatures, and then went back to being ocean creatures. Like
which ones are those?
Whales. Am I right on that? Weren't whales like that?
Whales?
Dolphins, shit like that. They were at some point land creatures. Does that make sense?
No, man, I gotta prove that. Like I'm saying, I gotta get into that, bro. Wait. What are you talking about?
Hi there, Seasway.
Yeah, so there's this creator on YouTube, Joe Bartolozzi. He's claiming some really bold shit right now. You know what he's saying? He's saying that, there's been times when sea creatures became land entities and they started walking on land and shit like that, and then they became sea creatures again, so they reverted back to the sea. The examples that he's throwing around are whales and shit like that. Is this true?
Yep, that's a real thing. Some animals did evolve to live on land and then later return to the water.
Show me some
Whales
show me some YouTube videos of this kind of history, where this kind of history is like shown and illustrated on YouTube, please.
You got it? I'm pulling up some YouTube videos right now that dive into that topic, illustrating how whales and other animals evolve from land to sea. Feel free to check them out.
Nice, thank you. Let's see that shit. What the fuck going on here?
Of almost unimaginable scale, and the blue whale is the largest animal in the history of life on Earth.
Tell me about it.
A creature of almost unimaginable scale and grace. But if you could travel back in time 50 million years, you would find its ancestor. And it would be a shocking sight.
Whoa.
It was a four-legged, dog-sized, hoofed animal that walked on land and likely waded in shallow streams. The transformation
that was the fucking whale?
Small terrestrial mammal.
No! Look at what's happening to that. Fully aquatic leviathans of today.
into the colossal, fully aquatic leviathans of today is one of the most complete and profound evolutionary stories ever unearthed.
Break it down.
It is a 50 million year journey that documents, in stunning fossil detail, how a land animal returned to the sea. And
so you're telling me, yeah, so what, natural selection did all this? Where's the legs though? So the legs is the tail, what was that? What do they call that shit? You know, the end part of the whale? This part right here? What they call this part right here? So the legs become that.
And in doing so, became the biggest creature the world has ever known.
Oh.
The stakes of this story are to witness evolution in action. The fossil.
So this nigga went from a dog to the biggest sea creatures. Yo, talk about manifesting your desired reality, bro. This nigga became the main man. Well, the biggest man. Biggest whale. Biggest creature.
Is one of our most powerful.
One of the biggest creatures in the sea.
Pieces of evidence for descent with modification. A perfect step by
fucking ugly ass dog. Like it made the right decision becoming a sea creature. I'm not gonna lie.
A step account of
shit was
how
ugly.
Natural selection
Hideous.
can produce radical change. The story begins in the Eocene epoch, around 50 million years ago,
in
the
India,
region of modern-day Pakistan and India. The earliest known ancestor.
Well, this might have been like maybe scientists, you know, conducting some experiments or some shit like that. You know, combining a dog, like an ugly ass dog's DNA, like sperm or whatever, and combining it with like a fish's little thing.
In the whale lineage is a creature called Indohus. It was a small deer-like animal with hooves, but its fossils hold a crucial clue. Its ear bones were unusual.
All right, man, theory proven. I get it. Joe, continue.
Were whales' ancestors land animals?
Yeah.
The earliest cetaceans were amphibious and their ancestors were terrestrial artiodactyls, similar to deer. This is what whales used to look like. Like, whales' ancestors were like this. Like, weird, like, different creatures. It's the same thing with us.
Hyenas.
Like, if you go to, like, human ancestors evolutionarily. Like,
humans' ancestors evolutionarily. Let's go. Your co-pilot.
Hi, this is where.
Yeah. Just pull up a video for me that covers human ancestors evolutionarily.
So, quick snapshot. You're looking to line up a few plans. One for a 5K run.
No. Please pull up a video for me that covers human ancestors evolutionarily on YouTube, please.
All right, just pulled up a YouTube video that should dive into the evolutionary journey as human ancestors.
Thank you.
Imagine the story of life on this planet is like a giant ancient book. For the longest time, we thought we had the main chapters pretty much figured out. But what if we're suddenly discovering new pages? Pages that completely change what we thought we knew about the beginning, about our beginning. It's a huge question, and frankly, it's sending some serious shockwaves through the scientific world right now. We're incredibly primitive. This individual was only about 5'3" with these long ape-like arms, kind of like the famous Lucy skeleton from way earlier. So its head was evolving in one direction, while its body was still very much stuck in the past. So what does all this mean?
What does it mean?
It leads to this massive realization. Homo habilis didn't just neatly evolve into Homo erectus. The fossil record now shows they were living at the same time, for hundreds of thousands of years. With bodies that were so different, they probably had totally different...
You know, I've been dismissing this theory of human evolution for so long. That shit seems so bullshit to me. I don't know, but now with the rise of AI, you know, AI is finna spam all this slop. People are gonna believe this shit. I don't even know what the fuck is real no more. Like, that's okay. That's cool.
Like, we probably root back before.
Cause shit, I'm probably not real, goddamn.
For human. Like, what is our mammal ancestor from the dinosaur time?
Great question.
That's a better Googleable question. Yeah, this is us. This thing is
a rat? A rat. Oh, look at this guy's chat, bro. Look at this guy's chat, bro. Look at this chat, bro. Nothing but... Okay, you know what? Let me get off. You don't say that word.
Technically, your great something all the way down the line grandfather.
Yeah,
you're related to that. No, you're not.
No,
well, if you
I'm
believe
not.
in evolution, you are. If you don't believe in evolution, you're not. But that ain't...
Yo, y'all came from rats? I believe that shit.
Him? Yo, that ain't my pops. I know that's not him. How do they know that, though? DNA, like, ancestry shit. A lot of bone stuff. Archaeology. I could Google it for you if you want me to. I don't know the exact answer. How do we know what animals we are descendants from? Comparing two different DNA-related species, we know they're related if they have nearly identical DNA. That's proven false. That proves they have both evolved from a common ancestor.
You bet not mention no orangutan, brother.
Their DNA is nearly related.
Sorry, hold on. Okay, cooperative altruism has been documented in some bird species. Barn owl chicks give food to hungry siblings, Seychelles warblers co-parent. Though it's not conclusive, it honestly seems like a lot of animals show behavior one could classify as kindness. But if it's emerged convergently in so many species, does that mean kindness is only a survival strata? Next is the Cambrian period. The Jeremys have been busy linking together into remarkable multicellular...
Yes, kindness is a survival strategy. It's a survival mechanism.
God, what is that?
I love how he's going back between just random philosophical shit and then like fish and shit.
An increase in oxygen...
That sounded so stupid. You know what I mean? Oh my god, that sounded so dumb. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said.
...has led to an explosion of new body plans, and in their excitement, everyone's gotten a little weird with it. Predators are now in vogue, so most species need a method of self-defense, like being fast, wiggly, or...
I said, yo, y'all understand and shit, like that and shit.
...or a slow and unpalatable mouthful of shell. Hey, this is a great idea, say their cousins, the horseshoe crabs. Let's just do this forever and not change. And they mean it.
Yeah, it is wild that horseshoe crabs have basically not evolved for like more than a billion years.
Because looking ahead 400 million years, while whales will only need half an epoch to turn from weird rat things into living submarines, horseshoe crabs will have still barely shifted a centimeter, making every time the two hang out rather awkward. Hey, so do you want to evolve sometime later, or...
Oh, fuck. You know what this kind of conversation reminds me of, bro? It reminds me of like a, you know, one of those weird age gaps between people who are like fucking with one another, where it's like the guy's like 68 and the girl's like 24. It's like, what else are we talking about, you know? What are we talking about? That's the quick, like, what are we talking about? Oh, so do you want to grow up soon? So that I can enjoy you more? So that it doesn't feel weird me bitch, I'm 23, I'm already grown. And the toxicity of the, you know, the toxic dynamic within that relationship, it then starts there. Facts. Exactly. What the fuck?
Not really. But the wildest thing about the Cambrian is
what?
Okay, wait a minute. If kindness is just a survival strategy, a product of natural selection, doesn't that suggest we only perform good deeds because we benefit? Like by passing on our genes or having a favor returned? Well...
Yo. Passing on your genes is kind. No. Passing on your genes is a survival mechanism, but is it gesture of being kind? We gotta define kind then, bro.
Well, that's what
Clearly.
like Ayn Rand and a lot of philosophers try to argue, that doing any kind task is physically impossible because anything that you do that is good will inherently benefit you in some way.
Yes, it has what's that? Self-preservation attached to it,
that
right?
you could attribute to selfishness.
Yeah, it's all like attributing to the self, man.
Holding the door open to somebody makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good. That's why you do it. It's not because, yo, it's really kind. Yo, is kindness actually self-preservation? Like, just like blown out the water? Let me see.
Hi there, Sizway.
Bro, define kindness for me, please. Yo, co-pilot, please define kindness for me.
Kindness is all about showing a genuine care and warmth to others. It's that simple, everyday act of treating people with compassion and respect. It's like offering a helping hand or a
Now, please make the connection for me between kindness and self-preservation.
Kindness and self-preservation actually go hand in hand. When you show kindness to others, you create a positive environment around you. It's a bit like putting good energy out there that often comes back, creating a circle of support. In that sense,
Now link self-preservation with selfishness.
Self-preservation and selfishness can seem like they're traveling in the same lane, but they're actually quite different. Self-preservation is about protecting your own well-being and ensuring you're safe and healthy. It's a natural instinct. On the other hand, selfishness often means putting your own needs first.
Look, but being kind based off of the fact that it makes you feel good, how is that not protecting yourself from, like, you know, dangerous situations where you lose people just because you're unkind? And you losing people because you're unkind, it makes you crash out in your own head thinking that you're gonna perish. Does that not make sense to you?
It does make sense. In a way, being kind as a form of self-preservation is about keeping your social world stable and positive. When you're unkind, you can end up isolated or losing people, and that definitely affects your own peace of mind. So kindness kind of acts like a shield, helping you maintain those connections and avoid that mental crash out.
So kindness does have connection with selfishness. All right, continue, Joe.
Good. So you're actually a bad person for doing that.
Yep.
You helping somebody
you're not.
in
Not necessarily.
an exam is selfish because you're doing it for self-benefit because they'll like you more.
Because they'll like you more, and you'll have a guaranteed friend for that phase of your, you know, time. Well, for as long as you're in that environment and you still kick it with that friend, like, you'll have a guaranteed partner. Or whenever you think you know what I'm saying? You're gonna need them and shit like that. You know, you're gonna pull one of those, hey, I helped you with your exam. I helped you with your exam. You know what I'm saying? It's time to return this favor, man. Let's go bury this dead body, bro. I don't know. I'm saying, I don't give a fuck if you're implicated in this shit. Let's go bury this dead body. Fuck. What? You're wasting time.
Right. Shit like that. You could go down to literally the extremist examples where it's like me and you are in the Vietnam War and a grenade is thrown directly next to us. If I jump on the grenade, I'll die and you'll live. I'm doing it because the pain and guilt that I would endure knowing that you would die if I lived would be worse than just jumping on the grenade and dying.
Now, who's supposed to endure the pain and guilt of you trying to protect somebody? And that's somebody else knowing that they were supposed to die. Now you're gone. Now it's their fault. Now they live with the trauma of thinking, oh shit, it was supposed to be me and now it was my best friend. Oh shit, I can't live with myself. Oh, kill me now, please. Oh, no.
That I don't agree with that, though.
Okay.
I think kindness does exist in selflessness, but I don't think that you can. I think that you can attribute a lot of kind things that people do to do for each other as something that they're doing inherently for their own self.
Okay, great point. I feel like now we're getting into you know, self-awakened kind of territory, right? Where you understand yourself to a point where you see that whole kind of narrative, man. You see no difference between you and your environment. Y'all are all one thing. It's all beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And when you do something to someone else, it's actually doing something else to you. Like, we getting into that kind of territory. And even that could be like theoretic, like pure fear. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that might have been a stupid statement. My fault.
Benefit.
Maybe. The idea that the principles underlying Darwinian evolution can be widely applied to things like ethics and culture as well is called universal Darwinism, which isn't named after Charles Darwin, but his cousin, Leonard Darwin.
Cousin?
That was a lie. I just broke our trust, and it didn't
Fuck out of here. Yeah, now I can't believe nothing you gotta say. Alright, carry on though, brother.
Because thousands of years of cultural evolution has made lying into a socially unacceptable taboo. See, societies evolve just like organisms, adapting alongside things like technology, clothes.
Yo, even lying to somebody can count as kindness, right? Lying to, okay, not kindness, but protecting somebody. And being protective of something, isn't that kindness? Isn't that being kind? Yo, let me not expose my ignorance, man. My fault, y'all. But yo, yeah, lying to somebody. Just because, you know what I'm saying, you don't want them to reveal, because let's say you know their form of, you know, their level of crash out. Once they know the truth, they might just destroy their own world, their whole world. You know what I'm saying? So I just like me having protected you from that kind of energy, bro. What the fuck did I just do? I just, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro, that's kind, bro.
Language, dance, and humor in response to selective pressures. So keep an open mind, because this next part is where things really... Alright, enough about the Cambrian already.
Enough,
I hear
bro.
you say. I'm tired of Anomalocaris. Are there fish yet? Well, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, yeah, there are fish, but they look... Okay, listen. Flash forward to
Kill over the 3, but the thing is that no matter how much the boundary, there's only so much a human mind can comprehend and understand in the matter of creation. I think it's one of the biggest things that will be never solved because we can't fathom it. That's like where the faith thing comes in, and the people who just endlessly pursue it are the truth. I would agree with that. Yeah, I still think it's like worth talking about, but we are limited by our own perceptions and way of life, and that anything that you do to try and genuinely understand the origin of the universe or the meaning of like the universe as a whole is physically impossible, because you're impeded by your own thoughts, desires, human perception, and own individual reasoning, right? Like, you're not a robot that can just comprehend shit in every possible way imaginable. You're limited to your own human mind, your perceptions, your own individual language, and the way that you're able to convey your thoughts and think within that own language, right? There are words that exist, even on a just earth level, that exist in other languages that don't exist here. The common example that I use all the time is like something like Schadenfreude, which is like the feeling you get of joy at somebody else's pain. And like, we could obviously say it in that sense, but other languages have words that mean different things that we can't even use, which limits you as well. Peak for the sub GVZ. I don't know if you ever felt this, but I think a lot of Christian logic to me sounds illogical. At the same time, I feel guilty for not believing in God. I used to feel guilty as well. It's one of the reasons why I didn't leave Christianity or kind of not self-identify as Christian earlier.
No, that was my reason of leaving it, actually. It was that same reason. That's why, like, I had to dip.
Or stop self-identifying as Christian earlier, because when I started having doubts, I thought I was like being sinful, and then it just kept hitting me. I was like, well, this is like kind of the whole point, is that I'm supposed to feel bad. And then
then what kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Just slowly faded out of the church. Why do you say God so much if you don't believe? I don't know. What do you like when somebody said, why do I say, oh my God, or Jesus Christ as like a response?
No, it's just like a you know, an expression of an extreme expression that you may have, and you know, oh my God is supposed to just mean the worst kind of expression imaginable. It's just I don't have, you know, what is this, man? I don't have the words for it, so I'll just use oh my God.
It's just like a general language-based reaction to something. What do you think about Kai Cenat's God theory? What is Kai Cenat's theory? Why you got a cross chain? Don't got a cross chain, buddy. It's a Cuban. I haven't worn a cross chain since before I started dating Brooke, which was over 3.5 years ago.
Why did you start dating Brooke? No, my
I don't wear a cross anymore. I actually got berated by people to stop wearing it. So that was back when I also believed in like a higher power. Now I wouldn't say that I don't, but I'm not sure. I'm just agnostic.
Yeah,
I used to just like believe in
just exist and float.
Right. I didn't know what it was.
100.
Welcome to the club, man. Let's just exist and float together. Shit.
Million years, now fish.
Yeah, we might change the world.
Your fish are hanging out in the shallows, which turns out to be a gateway drug for walking on land. Not like that. More like...
Joe, no hate, but something cannot come from nothing unless it's always been. And in the universe shows creation, or just random chance over an effectively endless amount of time.
Maybe.
You just said something can't come from nothing unless it's always been. The universe has always been. I've been created. Why couldn't you just attribute that same logic to God? Right? Like, I feel like you're viewing it from a biased perspective.
This. And now you've got the first terrestrial.
The universe shows creation. Wouldn't God also have shown inherently that something created him? Or it, to have the capacity to understand? Everything we know is from learned knowledge. You don't, how do you spawn in? How are you always existent? This might sound stupid. How can you always exist yet have infinite knowledge about things that currently don't exist for you? God's outside of our universe. You could also just say the universe is there are universes outside of our own universe. In the multiverse theory, you could say the universe has just always existed. We're going to get in an endless looped argument here, right? Because here's the thing. There's certain things...
These are trillion-year arguments.
...that could be discussed. And then there's certain things that are going to be discussed. But at the end of the day, it's going to be, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe. I'm not going to be able to see it from your point of view because you think I'm biased and I...
That's why I feel like solipsism might be the one most solid philosophy that, like, accurately, you know, expresses the reality of existence, man. Come on, man.
I think you're biased, if that makes sense.
Because a person that thinks like that, they think that their consciousness is the only one that exists, right? Or the only one that's real. Because even, like, other people around me, that's only a manifestation of my own consciousness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we both can agree to disagree on some shit, it's like we've agreed that, yo, my conscious, like, whatever I'm aware of in the way that I am aware of it is the right way for me. And that's it, that's all. And then, you know, if we agree to disagree on something, you believe the same shit for yourself. So it's like, why did we even have the okay, I guess, you know, for knowing how your brain thinks, but like, if, you know, if my own shit is what matters, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck about your opinion type shit, right?
Neither of us can view this from an a priori perspective. You have grown up in a different climate, a different life than me, and obviously think reasonably and logically different from me. I'm not right, you're not right, I'm not wrong, you're not wrong. You don't know if God always exists. You have faith that God has always existed.
Faith. That's another thing, faith. It's crazy how God needs people's faith to exist. Now my whole thing is, imagine if everybody acknowledged, we acknowledge the theory of this God, but I'm not partaking in any having faith in this shit. I just see it as something, you know, just passive. Like, do you think the idea of God would have lasted this long?
I don't know if the universe has always existed. I just believe it does, right? It's not faith because it's not the strong beliefs in the doctrine of a religion or, you know, the texts of a religion based on spiritual apprehension. It's just the similar sense of what I believe, right? I can't take that away from you. And so it's just like, you're not gonna change my opinion.
Vertebrates.
Right. All right, let's fight about it then. Let's go outside. You know what I'm saying? Okay, no. We're not instigating any form of violence on the channel.
Right on. So it's dinosaur time now. No, hold your proto-mammalian horses. These things take time. Natural selection isn't just some video game where... Welcome back to my gaming channel. Today we're looking at the new game Evolution.
Let's do it.
It's been in development for
3.5
billion years. Okay, fine. So if there aren't dinosaurs yet, what sorts of animals do we have? Well, since we're now entering the Permian, we've reached the age of synapsids, a group that includes the...
Man, the dinosaurs, bruh. Really? We're gonna do this again?
Iconic Dimetrodons, the rather rotund Cotylodonts.
Bro, I hate the dinosaur conversation. I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. It's kind of like the AI shit, bruh. It's kind of like the whole, you know, infestation of the AI like slop, bro. Like AI just be throwing its slop on each person's feed to a point where sometimes you cannot tell if the shit was real or not. I hate the dinosaur convo. I don't give a fuck about the fossils, by the way. Motherfuckers be manufacturing all type of shit talking about his fossils and shit, man. Come on, man.
Trinkus, who were...
I don't give a fuck.
Perfect.
What?
And there's...
Why did that creature look like a ball sack?
There's also a few weird hairy things scurrying around, but they probably won't amount to much. Wait, hold on. There are currently 8.2 billion humans on this planet.
How do you know that for sure?
According to universal Darwinism, there might be 100 times as many memes, influencing our social evolution and even our sense of ethics. A meme, in this case, is a unit of cultural information capable of self-replicating, as proposed in the book The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. The term encompasses any idea transferable between humans, from Beethoven's Ninth to the Mac and Cheeto, and therefore all of societal progress can theoretically be broken down into its memes. For example, there used to be mullets. Now, there is no mullets. You probably aren't wearing a toga while watching this. I mean, you might be, I guess, I don't know.
Bro, I'm wearing a robe, dog. What are you trying to say about me? Man, watch out.
Know your life, but did you journal on your clay tablet this morning using your reed stylus about the consistency of copper?
Journaled on my phone. What are you trying to say?
The merchant gave you. If the answer is no, then congratulations. You don't live in ancient Babylonia.
Thank you,
because
thank
like
you.
biological genes, mean variation allowed culture to evolve. But this theory gets
He's basically saying that over time, I think I'm interpreting this as we as a species have begun to less and less evolve physically outside of just, you know, kind of losing specific things that we don't need survival anymore. And our evolution has turned into societal evolution through cultural beliefs, rule sets, and functionality, right? We no longer have to get, you know, bigger pectoral muscles or wider shoulder bones so you can fucking fight a bison. You work a fucking 9 to 5 or work an electrical job or whatever you do. So there's other things in other ways that we still change as a group of individuals.
stranger. Dawkins argues groups.
I need to not read donos for a minute.
Don't
so I
do
can
it,
get through
then.
this. I'm seeing some like paragraphs coming in. I'll read them, but then after this, you need to give me a minute. Harry for the 3. Sorry to finish my third donut. I understand. I've been thinking about death a lot. I've been really scared about the concept of being only life and death, nothingness for eternity. Can't really think about phasing it out and other universal whole existence. I just want to know if you could give me advice on how to deal with it. Brother, I'm still dealing with it myself. I can't really help you, man. I'm sorry. I've talked about this before. I'm not happy with the thought of death. I don't want to die. How do I deal with it? I don't know. I mean, Marcus really...
Well, just change the meaning of what death is, bro. According to my, retarded, stupid understanding, death is nothing but a permanent change. Where it's a change. It's a hard reset, a hard change of the consciousness, a reformation of the body, because you leave in one body, like, apparently to just, like, get onto a new body, but you will find another place to exist in. Maybe.
And a lot of Stoics would say that death is only the loss of a moment. It is not the loss of the past that no longer exists in the future.
It's a reformation of that, bro. It's like to a point where literally the memory is gone. Like it's taken away of your previous, you know what I'm saying? Again, maybe.
Which exists, or the future which doesn't exist yet. You also got to think that the you right now will already be dead by the time you die, especially if you live to like 70, right? The me that's talking right now will not exist in 30 years. Obviously, the physical body that inhabits it will, but my way of thinking and everything.
Well, there you go. I feel like that's more of an accurate meaning of death, bro.
That I know, love, and remember will change entirely, right?
And based off of that theory alone, I think I've died like 3 times already now, maybe twice.
So I am like a time capsule that will not exist in 5 minutes, and every single moment your brain will change.
Memes working together are what facilitate more complex human ideas, like languages or traditions, which he claims are functionally mind viruses spreading contagiously from person to person. And if you're thinking, hold on, isn't this getting a bit too out there? The ride's just getting started, because you can't talk about the evolution of absolutely everything without talking about why don't you want to change? I don't know. I already like myself. Sure, but is there something about me you don't like? Of course not. That's not what because just because I never went through a phase where I was a furry rat horse doesn't mean that I know. I'm sorry. This
is like 2 videos that are getting blended together, and it's making me so confused.
You wouldn't understand.
No, bro, you just said you're high as fuck. I still get it. But give it a moment. Give the high a moment, you'll get it.
One Permian mass extinction later, and it's the early Triassic. Most species seem to have gotten the memo that it's time to stop being so goofy. Most species. And for the next few 100 million years, dinos are gonna lock in and fill just about every niche. Being tall, being small, eating leaves, having ball. Wow, these things were worth the wait. I don't see anything ever messing this up, so I'm gonna go buy milk. Can you look after the dinos while I'm gone? Okay, thanks.
What did you do?
Well, this is a problem.
Yo, but we lived through that shit, chat. We lived through that shit.
You were non-existent.
Meteor hit those motherfuckers out. We were living in holes.
It's gonna rule the planet now. These anxious rodent things? I don't even want to imagine what kind of society they would... The average...
Oh, shit. It felt so disgusting looking at that. Like zooming into rats that close. It literally gave me a weird physical sensation. I was like, why would this guy include that? footage in this video.
Each human
It's
home
crazy.
contains at least one parasite. Penicillus parasitus, or the pencil, is a species that uses its capacity to create markings to lure in unsuspecting hosts, encouraging them to facilitate its continued survival and reproduction. This is a theoretically valid way to define pencils under Dawkins' self-replicating meme theory, but it obviously sounds weird, right? Perhaps
Yeah, like a pencil has a consciousness and wants to exist.
surprisingly, the evolution of memes as Dawkins describes it is a somewhat controversial idea, even called a meaningless metaphor that assigns undue agency to the inanimate. And I agree that saying all cultural change can be mapped to such units is a bit of a stretch. However, and this is a very, very big however, I don't agree that meme theory is completely meaningless, especially if thought of as metaphor, because everything in our modern lives is in the flux of constant viral change. Pencils aren't parasites, they're just pencils, but how easy it is to personify them or any other human creation as alive speaks to the extent to which our culture is relentlessly evolving. Even this channel has
we're just fried.
Transformed radically, and though I'm happy with its path, I can't help but wonder.
And it is crazy, like, if humans don't fucking, you know, cease to exist and kill each other within 100 years, when we're long and dead, I mean, this is just a basic thought that people have.
No, we won't exist by, you know, we won't cease to exist by our own hands, but probably by the hands of AI, maybe, you know, the cyborgs, you know what I'm saying?
What will the world look like in 2,000 years? How will people in the year...
You know what's beautiful about that? I won't be around. But y'all got it. Y'all can figure that out.
4,000 look back at us. Will they see us as the same way we see Romans?
They won't even be able to conceptualize us. So I don't know, like, point of that question.
And people that lived in like early fucking CE days gone. Yeah, we won't even, like, are they gonna study us? It gives me FOMO. Yeah, I don't want to say I wish I was born later, because I think now is the best.
Oh shit, no. Or maybe it's not gonna be so bad, right?
Time to be alive, because now is the only time to fucking be alive.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if I could know what future humanity would be. But we will never know. Like, we will likely all die before 2100. The year 3000 isn't even within a fucking sun's reach, dude. It is so far that we'll never even know what that's like. What do you mean now's the only time to be alive? Now's the only time that you would and will ever exist. Every single ancestor...
And can. Okay, fuck no. That's not it. Because, you know, digital footprint, right? With all this digital footprint, you can exist beyond, you know, your intended years of living. Shout out to AI, damn.
That you've had, and every single thing that has existed before you has basically culminated to your existence in this exact moment. The odds of you existing are so drastically low that every single organism prior to you had to have sex at that exact moment with the exact other person that they did, to where that specific sperm cell reached the egg, which would create another person, which had to meet the exact person for that person to exist to create another person that created you, right? The chain goes on forever too, and it gets more and more unlikely. It's not like, oh, your mom had to meet your dad. It was that your mom's mom had to meet your mom's dad, and your dad's mom had to meet your dad's dad. But then their parents each had to meet each other, so far, so forth, and they had to all conceive at the same exact point that they conceived. Because you have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-great-grandparents, 16 great-great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, and it goes on for a fucking infinite level of
people,
you know, ancestry, to the point where the odds of you being alive right now are so low, and this is the actually only time that you would ever be able to physically exist in this universe. Maybe not in the multiverse, but in this universe, now is the only time that you would ever exist.
Wonder how time.
So don't be sad that you weren't alive years ago, or not alive yet, and you wanted to be alive in the future, because now's the only time that you would ever exist.
It might eventually alter.
But if you really think about it, it is the only time that makes sense for you to ever exist. It's right now.
Back, Gamer Nation, to episode 800.
I mean, because your capacity right now probably, you know, won't be able to handle what's to come maybe 2,000 years from now. And your capacity right now was absolutely unnecessary for what was happening 4,000 years ago.
1002 of my evolution
Not necessarily. Yeah, why is that, platypus?
Let's play. If it feels like the years are slipping through your fingers like loose sand, remember at the end of this video there's a t-shirt giveaway. As the sun sets on the dinosaur's reign, it's now the Cenozoic, and though life was in a bit of a pickle there for a second, the mammals are kicking it off with some pretty cool newcomers. We've got these fellows. Oh, mammoths are here too now.
Oh,
good. Got some giant sloths for good measure. Okay, yeah, this is working out. And now half of them are extinct.
Oh,
what happened?
Shit.
Well, some apes with no pointy claws realize they can make pointy sticks instead, and stick those sticks in other animals and cook those animals to unlock the extra nutrition bonus, which means their brains can get fancier and they can cooperate better, and now they've taken a mass extinction-sized bite out of the food chain. But that's okay, because they're also doing art and culture and memes, although they're not very good yet, and even meeting.
And I've said this before, I love looking at ancient cave paintings, where they originally started painting up. You can literally see the evolution of human consciousness in cave paintings.
And the level of intelligence that these humans had back at that time, right? It's pretty cute.
Because they would originally paint other things that they saw, like animals they would kill in their environment, and then they slowly started painting their own hands, their people, and their families, to where they started to understand and recognize sense of self.
Other hominids who are possibly just...
And then language, and they began to speak to each other, have like, you know, rough wording that created sentences, and then over time now we have language we can talk to each other.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine you existed 4,000 years ago with the language that you have now. You know, in context with the language that they were using back then. Who the fuck would you understand? Who the fuck would understand you?
Is intelligent. Don't worry, humans definitely aren't gonna cook and eat them too. Mostly. I feel really good about this being the species that's spread everywhere. I wonder if their insatiable hunger and general restlessness will lead to any... The only acceptable growth is infinite growth. That's arguably the prevailing ethos of the 20th and 21st century, the most viral Dawkinsian meme of our era, if you will. This drive for exponential profit margins has led to all sorts of lovely phenomena, like inshitification, a charming word for the widespread degradation of products that began as a term for the decline of online platforms, but could now apply to nearly...
Yeah, the worst shit now, dude. Why are we creating new phones every year? It's just like the competition against other humans is pushing progression, but it's also fucking so annoying as a consumer to have to put up with the amount of new shit that comes out. And sometimes it's good, but a lot of the time when it comes to technology, you could buy a brand new phone and 6 months later, now there's another phone that's better than yours. It's like, well, why the fuck am I spending? And then they charge a premium because it's a new price, even if it is 2 years old, and then you end up wasting money on something that's redeemably, you know, shit a year later, and then everything just gets more and more expensive. You throw it out, you keep your phone. I always say, this is off topic, how often do you guys get a new phone? Like like how many years? But
shit, my shit is 3 years old now, 2.5
between each. I would say, yo, Mikey, stop spamming. I would say like 4 to 6 years you get a new phone. Do you believe came in during the time of figuring stuff out, 8 babies? Yeah, probably once or twice. Definitely.
But then let's consider also the lifespan of these phones. Phones is not created to live beyond like 2 years, nigga, 3. Right.
It definitely happened. What I'm trying to say is that the human can never understand everything about the universe because it's so complex and great for humans to fathom, therefore taking away the human logic and ethics. Bob for the 3. Do you believe in the afterlife? If you do, then what do you think it would be like? I do not. Trashy for the 3. Think about comparative creation of the universe. Assume as that we are matter and atoms, and just use the analogy based on human perception. The analogy is effective unless because new matter can't be created or destroyed, so using life and needing a creator to exist, therefore the universe needs a creator is not a good reason. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah.
All aspects of our daily lives. A rather cartoonish example of this sort of de-evolution is shrinkflation, wherein companies shave off more and more of their product to try and squeeze just a bit more out of consumers and keep those numbers going up forever. This short-sighted idea of progress isn't new. The decline of silver coins minted in the Roman Empire follows a strikingly similar pattern, but taking that as an example, the practice obviously isn't sustainable long-term. And not to get up on my soapbox, but these small cruelties are particularly maddening when thought about in the context of the totality of Earth's history. Billions of years of crawling out of the muck, surviving mass extinction after mass extinction, all for some jerk-offs to not let you have a full-size bag of chips. Is this truly the finale of biological and social evolution? The culmination of the long arc of life? You'd hope there'd be just the teeniest bit more room for compassion, or at the very least, I'd like to understand. Forget it. No, I didn't mean to be rude before. I can tell you're going through something. I guess I'm just afraid. Afraid of what? Of how much the world has changed? Of how much I've changed with it? I've gone through so many iterations, it's like I barely recognize myself. But you've stayed so steady, eon after eon. I wish I had that kind of confidence. Sometimes I wonder if I'm still me anymore. That's crazy. Wow, thanks a lot. All right, we've still got to wrap up the Anthropocene and beyond, so we don't have time for fancy editing. There we go. Let's see, the Ice Age finally backs off, and anatomically modern humans start spawn camping in various river valleys. They do some farming and build some houses and do some...
And bro, what's the point of life to fucking begin with? On like an evolutionary standpoint. Like, I know cells have two options of effectively becoming like a single-celled immortal organism, or like reproducing, spreading, you know, gene diversification, dying, and then the same, you know, respawn of those people or the spawn of those things do the same thing over and over again. But like early life, what the fuck motivated it to like reproduce, die, reproduce, die, reproduce, die? Like, what's the point in it? What's the point in doing that on a biological perspective? There is no point. I think that's the arrival. Yeah, it's life.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Word from my sponsors kind of time again.
And crying and lying, always just walling on the fake comments, take running up in our sides, so we finding our way. Give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purse. Beats, tell you shit. Stick that shit for these young ladies drunk on shit. Either the sun, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Why you think it's a Zulu chillin' on my stoop? My heavens on earth, the universe, but got my roots. It ain't no ego too new to me, I call y'all flukes. Age of Aquarians drooling for the star sign juice. It ain't no level too high up, yeah. That we can't reach with our eyes closed, like no cap. Infinite water deep dive, yeah. Ralph smart to these dumb nugs, y'all flowing, jack, give me the loot. Who got the key to the zoo? Mama, she lying. Daddy too weak for the truth. Man, got his nerve. No service. Pull out for your purse. Beats, tell you shit. Sit there shit for these young ladies drunk on shit. Either the sun, run up a leg. Whichever you think counts, make it legit. Already know I'm designer. My type of cloth ain't a missus. I just mean like I'm an honor. Give it the time and the dick. I'd rather you keep it 1,000. I smack all that cap off your lip. Look at the time, make a squirt with the dollar. So after we fuck out the dick, trick, catch your fade. If you don't mind, get the fuck out my way. We find our way.